Live from Dog Music Studios in Edinburgh, Kentucky. Hello, Easy Nation. Welcome to another episode of the Evolution of Survivor Strategy. I hope everyone's having a very good day. So we're on to Survivor Ghost Island. This is chapter 36 of the Evolution of Survivor Strategy. We're almost done. Like, I can kind of see the finish line. I have a bad season coming up soon with Island of the Idols, but still I have David versus Goliath to look forward to, and I remember liking most of Edge of Extinction, and then we also obviously have Winners at War, so we're down to 4 seasons. So it's been a long process, but I'm glad to finally get through this ride and finish this epic series up. This isn't the end of this podcast, though. I mean, whenever Survivor actually comes back, I will probably do weekly episodes of the episodes of Survivor on this podcast. And then eventually, once that season's over with, rewatch the entire season and then grade and then do the next chapter of the Evolution of Strategy. But for now, let's talk about Survivor Ghost Island. So Survivor Ghost Island, we have 20 castaways separated in 2 different tribes, and we introduce this thing called Ghost Island. Can you reverse the curse? So the whole idea of this season is we're bringing back relics that were not placed successfully in Survivor history. So between like Andrea's immunity idol from Survivor Caramoan to to Michaela's vote seal that she didn't see and got herself voted out, and and then there's some other like immunity idols cool. Like it was cool to see Ozzy stick James's immunity idol. So yeah, I mean, I think there's some things they probably could have used instead of some of the idols, like the JT immunity idol, for instance. I think it would have been better to have the immunity idol from Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. That JT gave the idol to Russell. Parvati played the idol, which sent JT home. So I think that would have been a better idol to use than JT's Game Changers idol. And then also when Sebastian gets the vote steal, which is from the Michaela, and then Kellen plays it unsuccessfully. I mean, I don't know if she didn't play it unsuccessfully, but it would have kind of been interesting if that's. I mean, so I think it would have been more interesting if Seabass had gotten Stephen Fishback's vote steal, which would have been an extra vote. So I think that would have been a little bit better. So here's my thoughts of Survivor Ghost Island. Survivor Ghost Island is a lot of people hate the season. Some people like the season. I'm in the camp. I enjoy the season, and it might be this is the only seasons of Survivor that I did not watch live. I don't remember what I was doing. Maybe it was because I didn't like the way Survivor Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers. I didn't like the Final Four fire making challenge. And guess what? I still don't. I will say I'll get to it at the end of this podcast. What I like about the fire making challenge, but that's the only reason why. So this season, we're divided into 2 tribes, and the tribes are really not divided up. You have a power struggle between Dominic and Chris Noble, and there's like tensions in the Navidi alliance, and like Chris gets hit to Ghost Island through a random rock draw. I'm just gonna get straight to the tribe swap. And basically, they're wanting to take Angela because Angela is Chris's right-hand man. But the Malolo 4 that are on the tribe decide to take out Angela, thinking decide to take out Morgan because she's a bigger threat, and they didn't want to take a Window or Dom. And so, Morgan kind of gets screwed in this little moment because I like Morgan. I mean, it kind of sucks to see her go out the way she did. And she also had the legacy advantage, which Jacob found in the first episode, and he gave it to Morgan. And Morgan gave the legacy advantage to to Dom. I do like all the the tribe swaps. I think that's an interesting way because you can build connections with other people. So I kind of like that. I like that we mixed from 2 tribes back to 2 tribes. I didn't really care for them switching the 3 tribes at the end of the season, at the end of the pre-merge, but it's here there about it. So we get to the merge, and there is a dynamic power. There's a 2 bulls hitting heads against each other. You have Chris Noble and you have Dominic. And Dominic, he gets the advantage of JT's immunity idol, which is good for two tribal councils. So this was the first time we ever seen immunity idols only good for certain tribal councils. Well, we did see it last season with Heroes versus Hustler, but this is just a regular idol, and he can risk his vote and increase the power. I mean, to be honest with you, I think I would just take in the idol because your vote is so important, and taking the idol and say, okay, I'll at least make it past 13. At that moment, some of my favorite voting confessionals is when Dominic votes out Chris and goes, Chris Noble, it's been a privilege bringing you coffee for the last 20 days. See you on the other side. And then the vote of Window, when he votes out Chris, he says, we won together. Respect for that. But your social skills are out of whack. And also, someone should say it, I'll say it. Stop rapping. You're trash. Put the mic down, bro. Put the pen down. Use an eraser. I mean, Window. I love Window. And so after that, then we have a bunch of what Dominic would call the GOAT Alliance, was trying to take out the big power players. And you see Kellen's game you see how dominant she was. And I really like Kellen. Would love to see her come back. I don't know if she ever will get an opportunity, but she kind of reminds me of like a little mix of like a little bit of a Kelly Wentworth mixed with a little Aubrey. I mean, I think she's a very interesting game player, and how her game she doesn't really have a place to sit, because the thing about this season is the 2 big titans of the game, Window and Dominic, they're with each other the whole game. And the reason why it is the way it is because they can't take each other out. Because if they say in one of the episodes, and it's a perfect setup for how the season really ends, is when Window says, if we go after each other, that'll be it. We won't win. We can't butt our heads against each other until we can dominate the end of this game. And then they both had immunity idols. I love that Window had the Dominic, or not the Dominic, Window had the Eric idol, or the immunity necklace that he gave up in Survivor Micronesia, and then you have Dominic had the Andrea idol from Caramoan. So, the game just goes along, and then you also have Donovan and Laurel. They're from the Malolo, and they formed this tight bond with Window and Dominic, but Donovan's ready to cut them. He's ready. He says, we're not gonna win if we don't take out these big players. Laurel is she's weighed out the options. She's like, either I can take him out, or I won't make it to the finals, or I go with them and hoping they'll split the vote, and somehow I'll get a vote or 2. I mean, it was a great strategy on Laurel's part, which, we see her become the 11th juror. So, and this is one of those things about the Fire Making Challenge, which is the only thing I like about the Fire Making Challenge. It brings more powerful people to the finals. So it doesn't come down to who's going to win that final immunity. It's probably going to make it, because let's say there's no Final Four Making Challenge. Window loses the immunity challenge. Window gets taken out Final Four. Window doesn't win the game, and we had Dominic win the game. And most people would see Window or Dominic win the game, but we had the Fire Making Challenge. And we see Window and Dominic go to the finals together. And we see it's unprecedented. We see the first ever tie at a Final Tribal Council. And when I watched this for the first time, when Jeff said, I think I'll read the votes, and you realize it's a tie, which I didn't watch the Survivor Game Changers Reunited show when it came out, but Jeff kind of blew the secret, and he said, He said, okay, if there's a tie, that means Troy said, you become the 11th juror, and you decide. He's like, what? That's awesome, man. But when I watched it, because I didn't watch reunion shows at that point, and when I saw that tie, I was like, oh my god. And then Wendell won the game. I mean, because Wendell made that personal connection to Laurel, and I just thought it was a great ending to a very fun game. Is the season exciting as most seasons? Probably not, but I really enjoyed it, and I like the idea of bringing back these old things that were cursed. Would like to see them. I would like if they're going to do another Ghost Island. And I do think Ghost Island might be one of the better versions of Exile Island because it kind of makes it interesting. The only thing I didn't like about Ghost Island was that you couldn't play every time. So I don't want to see a million advantages in the game, but you bring in idols that are only good for like 1 or 2 tribal councils. I think that's fine. I think they kind of solve this problem when they do Island of the Idols a little bit, but I enjoyed the season of Survivor. It's not bad. It's not a bad season. So yeah, the guys, have you seen Survivor Ghost Island? What are your thoughts of it? Where they are, comment below. Let me know. And guys, if you like this video, click thumbs up, subscribe, see more, tell your friends about Easy Nation. Until next time, all too easy.